everyone. Welcome to episode 82 of Formidable Opponents, a show that pits three people who have known each other virtually their entire lives in a series of conversations as we argue what is best in a variety of fun, engaging, and critical pop culture topics we all debate about. I'm Randall, and with me as always, Bob and Joseph, and this week's topic is Best Drinking Song. Yes, this week's topic is Best Drinking Song, or as my two co-hosts like to call this topic, just Best Song. They drink to amazing grace if the church allowed it. Alcohol and music just go together. What better way to accentuate a carefree shared experience than with a soundtrack and a drink? As I joked earlier, any song can be a drinking song. It's your connection to the song and the experience you had with drink in hand that makes it so. Music and alcohol together elicit a tandem response. Although music may not directly cause people to drink, it can foster an increased alcohol use due to social and cultural influence. Question: does music make you drunk? According to field studies conducted by Professor Nicholas Guggen, I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that, and colleagues, probably his drinking buddies, the answer is yes. By observing customers' drinking habits over the course of 3 Saturday nights in 2 different bars, Guggen was able to validate the claim that loud music causes people to drink more. In his field study, Guggen claimed that high sound levels may have caused higher arousal, which led the subjects to drink faster and order more drinks. Bar owners crank up the music. If you play many of these songs we mentioned, profits will go through the roof. But I bet you already knew that. Although drinking songs are what you intentionally make of them, there's no arguing their versatility. From sad ballads to sing-along anthems to hip-hop to rock, this week's category is as loaded as my two co-hosts are on St. Patrick's Day, Cinco de Mayo, 4th of July, or your average Tuesday. Sorry, guys. I see your Instagram.
You forgot Christmas.
This week, Formidable Opponents discusses and debates Best Drinking Song. As always, I'm joined by two guys who don't have to drink to have a good time. Bob and Joseph, how are you guys doing?
We want to. And were you talking about Avoid the Clap, Jimmy Dugan? Is that the guy from the article?
Close enough. So it's been a while, guys. We had a couple of weeks off. We've had to do some traveling and some other personal matters came up. So it's been a couple of weeks, guys. How have y'all been?
It's been we just came off of spring break. We took a little trip. We were in Fredericksburg last weekend. Got to try some schnitzel, had some German beer. Got to try out see a new spot in Texas, which is pretty cool. It was good to get away and to see family and stuff like that this week. So I'm happy we're back, man. It feels like forever since we've been on.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. Good times. Just I got a little break myself. Relax, kind of recharge. Hadn't done that in a while. Alarm. Anyway, yeah. And
was that turn around? Turn around.
No,
that's what it sounded like. Pretty cool alarm.
But yeah, no, it was just a good little recharge, man. I mean, I know it's kind of early in the year, but I hadn't taken a break since like maybe fucking October of last year, maybe. I don't know. Anyway,
Christmas? Yeah.
A good time. Well, I Christmas, but I don't really take too much time off during the holidays. But yeah, no, it was a good little break.
So, guys, speaking of holidays, St. Patrick's Day was last week, the NCAA tournament, spring break. We're about a week behind, but we're going to catch up with all the important topics concerning drinking and what goes better with a song and what goes better with a drink than with a great song. So I'm going to ask you guys off the bat, what makes for a great drinking song?
If the song somehow explains my current mood at the time of drinking, then it's all good with me. I mean, I guess that's what to plain and simple. I mean, if that may, and I know that kind of opens it up to almost anything and everything, but
like my girlfriend in high school.
But if for some reason, a particular song comes on that just kind of like, is saying how you feel at the moment, then it's all good. I think that's what makes it the best. You might find a drinking song that you never even knew.
I agree 1,000%. The drinking song has to make you feel a certain way, whether you want to be happy, whether you want to be sad, or whether you want to be relaxed, or whether you want to party, whether you want to dance. It's got to make you feel a certain way. It has to make you think about life or about the past or the present or whatever it is that's on your mind at the time. It's a mood. So drinking songs are a mood. So it just depends on what mood you're in.
I agree with you both. I think it has to elicit an emotional response, happy, sad, etc. But what I found in my research is that these songs, when I'm listening to them randomly, and of course, they're on the drive to work or they're at home when I'm working or whatever. And when they elicit a memory of a time where I remember I was having a few drinks, hanging around with friends, it allows for that emotional response to take over. To me, those were the best drinking songs. And like I think we mentioned before, it's a very broad category, but it all depends on how it affects you personally. But there's some songs that sort of tie in and are natural with this topic. So I can't wait to get to them. So let me ask you guys this. In your research, how did you find that most of the songs you listened to or that you listed or liked favored a specific era in your life? Did it take you back to a certain era that you were happier? Be careful how you answer this.
I'm going to say no, because most of the songs I like to listen to are from the 60s and 70s, so wasn't even around then, man. So it doesn't really take me back to a certain spot. Yes, on occasion we'll listen to like high school music just to reminisce, but for the most part I listen to 60s, 70s rock, so it's doesn't really take me back. And if it does, and I don't know, it's a little too far back for me.
Yeah, for me, not really, dude. It was a good mix of classics and stuff from my favorite era of music, which would be the 90s and early 2000s. Nothing really from current music charts that I can think of. Like, I don't think, yeah. I mean, but at the same time, I don't really listen to anything that's like super new. But yeah, no, not really. There was a good mix of like I said, the classics and the 90s and 2000s. So
what's fucked up is the classic rock they now consider 90s rock classic rock.
Yes. Oh yeah, that's right. Never mind. The early classics. I'm sorry. Yes. The early classics and the classics.
Golden oldies. Yes.
The golden oldies. Is that what they're called now?
I think
Earth,
so.
Wind and Fire?
Yeah. I think, era specific songs remind me more of regret and probably things that I shouldn't have done when I was younger. So I'm just going to stay away from this question and say I love all drinking songs, no matter the decade, no matter the year. Question of the night, guys. Sad drinking song or happy drinking song? Which do you prefer and why?
Sad tissues or happy tissues? Oh shit, that's the question. Joseph, you're up.
Sad drinking, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I like them both. I think I more enjoy I don't know. I like them both. I can't really like. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I can't pick one of those. I can't pick one.
Make a choice: red pill or blue pill. It depends on who you're with. Are you with a group of friends and you don't want to play Let Her Cry? What the fuck? You want to play happier music, some upbeat music, something to sing along to, joke around to, something that reminds you of something fun. If you're by yourself or you're maybe with significant other, maybe something that could be sad. Usually when you're by yourself, it's either like an embarrassing song or a sad song you're probably listening to. So
I think, to me, 100% happy. I don't need alcohol to feel shitty and cry. I think, to many, that's the drive home. So why am I going to get sadder by listening to music? No thanks.
That way every time I leave McDonald's.
If you were hanging out for a night with your friends, having some drinks, and you could only pick one artist's catalog, who would that be?
For me, it's either Floyd or Zeppelin.
I was just about to say Pink Floyd.
Yeah, it's just so many big hits.
So many times.
Yeah, we've done it so many times. There's so many good hits and mood music. They got that psychedelic bluesy rock that I'm just like all about. But if we add a little asterisk to the question or a little change to the question, if it was a particular decade, I'd have to go 80s rock or 80s music and 2000s high school music. Like either one of those, when you're with your friends, if you play one of those, you're definitely going to have a good time, sing along with, whether it's 80s or 2000s. Early 2000s was our high school music, so we know all the songs, we remember all the lyrics. It makes us think of all the stupid shit we did. So if we were going decade, I'd go with those two. But as far as like just the mood music, one artist, it's either Floyd or Zeppelin.
Yeah,
I think Floyd and Zeppelin, good choices. Although I think some alternative substances would have to be in the mix, but that's just me. Some other chemicals, perhaps. I went with the Beastie Boys. I think the Beastie Boys, since I do like happy songs when I'm drinking, no sad Beastie Boys songs, none that I could recall off the top of my head. So not a lot of fast forwarding. So that would be my selection. I do want to ask you guys.
That's a hell of a catalog to drink to.
I want to ask you guys this. This is off the top. Is Roadhouse Blues by The Doors the most covered and worst covered good drinking song that has ever been played at a live bar? I listen to that song and it's either feast or famine. It's either really good or really bad, and you're drunk while you're listening to it.
I don't think I've ever heard it in a good way. At least not down here. Fuck.
Tough song to cover, right? Let's go to honorable mentions. Joseph, who do you have for your honorable mentions?
Oh, I didn't expect to go first. You know what? I didn't have too many. I'm just gonna go with no.
Weren't you at rehearsals?
I'm just gonna go with Nick mentioned to the one I almost picked, which was Beer by Psychostick, The Blob by the Five Blobs. That's it. That's all I'm gonna go with. Yeah, I was a little too.
I have like 15.
That's cool. I was a little distracted this week, so
we had 3 weeks.
I didn't have time, but I'm sure like you all will mention songs, and I'll be like, oh yeah, that one's cool. That one's cool.
We'll fill in the blanks.
Yeah, fill in the blanks.
Honorable mentions: Pink Floyd, "Shine On, You Crazy Diamond," "Time," "Wish You Were Here," Led Zeppelin, "Since I've Been Loving You." If you don't know that song, it's not one of their biggest hits. Check that one out. It's my kind of vibe when I'm drinking. Is that particular song? If I want to cry or feel like shit, Willie Nelson's "Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain." One a really cool one, Joe, that our friend Steve turned us on to. Cody Jinks, "Hippies and Cowboys." Cool little drinking song. Dwight Yoakam, we talked about him in his sexy white
song.
tight pants. Streets of Bakersfield. Derek and the Dominoes, "Layla." Layla was almost my pick. That one and Led Zeppelin, "Since I've Been Loving You." They're almost my picks. That's a great song. Journey, "Lights." I didn't go with
a good one. Yeah,
"Don't Stop Believing," but Lights
it's a better one.
Fucking awesome.
Lights is a good song to drink to.
Alice in Chains. Yeah, Lights is a good song to drink to, man. Charles Bradley, "Changes." If you want to cry, yeah, go for that one. Kiss, "I Was Made for Loving You," because that one makes me want to like
get down.
That's
yeah,
like if I was in the 80s, we're fucking throwing down to that song, dude. "Don't Let Me Down" by the Beatles, and then one from my high school years. Creative Lapel wants me to mention it's Fuel, "Hemorrhage," dude.
All right,
Hemorrhage or Shimmer?
No, "Hemorrhage."
Oh wow, okay, all right. I didn't actually like to drink to Hemorrhage.
I think Fuel's a good drinking band. It's a good drinking band. I like Fuel.
Whatever happened to those guys? Those guys were great.
What's that song called? I'm totally and all of the oh yeah.
What?
Falls on Me is a good drinking song. I'm editing.
Is that by Fuel?
I had a bad day again.
Is that a drinking? Is that a Fuel song?
No, you gotta keep it.
Yeah.
It falls on me.
Falls on me. Falls on me.
I don't know that. Well, I know that song. I just didn't think it was a Fuel song.
Yeah, it's Fuel.
That's funny.
So my honorable mentions: Garth Brooks, "Friends in Low Places." You can't go wrong with that. Every country song imaginable could fall into this category. LMFAO, "Shots," "Tequila" by the Champs, "Gin and Juice" by Snoop Dogg, "Have a Drink on Me" by AC/DC, "Margaritaville" by Jimmy Buffett, "Brass Monkey" by the Beastie Boys, "Pina Colada" by Rupert Holmes. Come on.
No, Pina Colada Berg.
Pina Colada Berg. I think you mean Pina Colada Berg, a fucking song I wrote 9 fucking years before Margaritaville even came out.
Red Wine by UB40. "There's a Tear in My Beer" by Hank Williams Jr. "Tennessee Whiskey" by Chris Stapleton. "Tuesday's Gone" by Leonard Skinner. "Whiskey in the Jar." Either one, Metallica, Thin Lizzy. You take your pick.
Oh, dude, I'm sorry, but Metallica's version is way better than Thin Lizzy's.
"Drunk Girls" by LCD Sound System. "One Bourbon, One Scotch, One Beer" by George Thorogood. "Get Down Tonight" by Casey and the Sunshine Band. You know why, Bob? We got a couple of cousins who...
That's a fucking... I
remember that.
Yeah, dude, get down to that. That one's fucking out once I heard the... Holy shit, that's a great one, dude. That's a great thing.
We got a couple of cousins who grew up in the 70s that have a routine to that song. Yeah. So every time...
They also had hair last time they danced to this song.
Hair, and I don't think it's alcohol that fueled the dance.
I don't think it was
real. Anyway, "Back That" by Juvenile. "Moni Moni" by Billy Idol. I think if you attended nightclubs back in the late 80s and 90s, there was a very specific profanity-laced chant that went with this song. You people with lower back pain, you know what I'm talking about. So "Moni Moni" by Billy Idol. Lastly, one I was really going to go with, but I changed up, "Sweet Caroline" by Neil Diamond. I think that's just a fun song.
Sweet Caroline.
And shout out to my buddy Alex.
If you're from Boston.
Shout out to my buddy Alex, who mentioned "Gangster Party" by Tupac and "Holding My Soul" by Aerosmith. And then lastly, I do want to say, none of us mentioned anything by Vicente Fernandez or Maná. So I don't know if we're going to get our Mexican cards taken away from us. But
if anybody doesn't know what corridos are, look up corridos.
Maná's got some good drinking songs.
Fuck yeah, Maná's cool as shit, dude.
I think saying anything by Vicente Fernandez would have been very cliche. I think it's just a given. Yeah. I think it's a given.
Vicente, you never talk bad about Chente, sir.
No, I don't think we have to talk. I mean, it's just a given. Yeah. But let me real quick before
there goes Wisconsin, by the way. But go ahead, go.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, everybody's brackets
said
are
Caroline,
fucked.
you're good. Oh yeah, everybody's brackets are fucked. Yeah, thanks a lot.
Everybody's brackets are fucked.
I mean, my championship team's still in it. But anyway, you like to drink to Juvenile's Back That Ass Up?
It reminds me of my last.
You should see him in the mirror in the restroom.
You can do anything to that song.
He's like, I take a leak, and he goes to the,
I don't know if y'all heard that, everybody at home. That I think he kind of slipped that one in the honorable mention. He said a song. Back That Up by Juvenile.
Back That Up by Juvenile.
And I was on mute, so I was like, wait a minute, what?
What did you say?
What the fuck did he just say? Back That Ass Up by Juvenile. This I have to see.
I used to get down to that song. Now I cut my grass to that song. It's the age of life.
Neighbors looking at you like, why is he shaking his ass like that?
Great song. Are you telling me Back That Ass Up is not a good drinking song?
Party song. I mean, I've never just sat there and said while I was drinking some beer and said, somebody put Back That Ass Up on.
No, this night needs Juvenile Back That Ass Up. Somebody put that shit on.
We're obviously from different eras because that song was a must-have on every Bird CD that I had, followed by the thong song.
Yeah, turn off
Bird.
Put on Back That Ass Up. Oh my god.
That's kind of a song you probably don't want to listen to out loud when you're in your 40s, but well, whatever. Back in the day, it was good. Okay, guys, let's go on to our selection. Joseph, you're up first.
Well, first off, I found this topic to be a bit tougher than I thought it was going to be. So, as we mentioned earlier, the right mood picks the right song, I believe. So for my pick, I went with Peter Frampton's "Do You Feel Like We Do" or "Do You Feel Like I Do." It depends on where it's written, but more specifically, the live version from Frampton Comes Alive. This is very key. Now, how did I come to this decision? Honestly, I like the song, and while we were doing the research for this song, I told Bob to put this song on because I wanted to hear it. Beers were being had, and the decision was made. Plain and simple. Maybe it's the live atmosphere of the song because it was recorded live that I like, that adds something to it for me. Being out at a bar, and a jam band doing their thing, keeping everybody in a good mood. That's kind of what I compared this to, and how in helping me make this decision on this choice. And let's be real here. It's a good fucking song. Even the lyrics are about having a good time, with a few alcoholic beverages. The opening line, woke up this morning with a wine glass in my hand. Whose wine? What wine? Where the hell did I dine? It's fucking awesome. It's a great fucking song.
Fuck yes.
He sells it, yes.
Yes, it's great. The music itself, this version again, the whole middle breakdown, the funky keyboard jam, the bass line is just fucking perfect. I mean, this is, I guess you can consider this a happy drinking song because it sure made me happy. No doubt in my mind, though, back in '76 when this was live recording was done, those people there that night, man, they were probably having the time of their lives. Let me just say that because I have the time. Yeah, that too. I have the time of my life listening to this song. Anyway, I don't have a whole bunch to say on this song other than I think unless you have no soul in your body, this song doesn't make you feel a certain way. I mean, when it comes on, like I said, especially on the radio, and especially when you're drinking, I mean, it gets me moving. And you know how I know it? Because I'm as boring as they come. When I'm at a party, I find my spot, I'm there for the night, and I drink, smoke a cigarette, whatever, get up to take a piss, and that's about it. I'm pretty boring. But Bob can attest. This song got me up, and it got me moving, and nobody asked for it, but it happened.
This song got you moving, but Back That Ass Up won't get you.
No. I'm a classic.
At a strip club, it'll make him take $1 out of his wallet, though.
That part probably. But yeah, that's my selection, man. I went with. I love this song, and it makes me. It's I guess you can call it a happy drink song. So that's my pick, guys. What's up?
It's not a bad song. Let me just start off with that.
Considering I almost went with Cycle Sticks beer.
That was a bad song. That was Joseph's original pick, which he changed. was a very bad song, but this one's a good song. So props to that. All right, so this song is almost this song is almost 14 minutes long. Are you trying to kill yourself with alcohol poisoning? That's a long time to drink to a song. Okay, by the time Frampton,
that's like at least 2 beers.
That's like 3 beers.
I mean, you can throw some shots, okay? But by the time Frampton gets to the part where he uses the talk box, it's time to call the substance abuse hotline. That's all I'm saying. Okay, I think drinking your way through this song is the only way to really enjoy this song, and that's both a compliment and a knock. It's a good song, but yes, Joseph, I agree. You have to drink to get the full effect to this song. The song is about a hangover. Frampton would often write from his own personal experiences, and at the time he was experiencing an effect or the effects of a night of drinking. So he started off, woke up with a wine glass in my hand and all, he just went off on it. So this is a song about a night of drinking. This is one of many era appropriate songs used in the 1993 movie Dazed and Confused, which is set in 1976. It also shows up on 2 episodes of that 70s show and on the Homer Palooza episode on The Simpsons, where Frampton appears in cartoon form. So this song has endured. It's gone on. I think it kind of slipped off after the 90s. I think that 90s to 70s nostalgia really kept it, at the prime of everybody's, pop culture knowledge, but it's kind of tailed off a little bit. So I'm glad we're talking about it to give it some credence today. Look, if you're a strung out addict, and if you are, please get help. Yes, great song of choice. I don't want to drink to one song a quarter of an hour. That's just me. I want succession, progression. I want my mood to alter with every new song coming on. I mean, how long were his concerts? I mean, if his one song was 14 minutes, I can imagine his concerts were pretty long. I think if you're older, this is a very appealing song. But as far as modern day drinking song, it's a little too long and drawn out. I don't feel drunk and disoriented when he starts talking like Charlie Brown's teacher on the talk box, but I do think it's a classic song to sort of drink to. Do people have the patience to sit through this song? Can they, drink and have a good time to this song? Maybe. I know some people can. I know you two can. Bob, what do you think about it?
I mean, you mean to tell me you've never put a McDonald's straw in your mouth and saying, "Do you feel like I do?" Give me a fucking break, bro.
It's the fan. It's the oscillating fan, yes.
Yeah, I mean, if you can listen to Freebird while wasted, and that's another 10-minute goddamn song, you can listen to Frampton Comes a fucking live.
Freebird shifts, though. It shifts.
It shifts a little. Give me a break. Yeah, it shifts because they took a smoke break. This is one of my favorite songs, and you picking it live was a good pick, Joseph. Way better than the other one. I'm glad. We're out here drinking, and Joseph told me, this is the song I chose, and we put it on. I was like, yeah, well, let's just keep looking. And we came across this one, and Joseph got up. He's like, this is the one. Lit a cigarette, took a big chunk of his beer, and I was like, okay, man, I guess we're getting married to this one. So it is a very good pick. This is like one of my dad's favorite drinking songs. He's a big, 70s rocker. I always think of Wayne's World. He's like, Frampton Comes Alive. He used to come with packs of Tide, or he says some shit like that. This is a great song. I really do dig the guitar with the synthesizer and the fucking swirly straw that he has in his mouth. I think it's pretty cool. I do, however, like "Ooh Baby, I Love Your Way" more. Okay. It's my favorite song from Peter Frampton. I'm kind of sappy, I know, but drinking and listening to that one's a good little song. It's a happy song, and it makes you think about your significant other or that girl you once dated in college or high school. So I think it's like a very there's a connection to it that I really, really like. But this is a good song, man. Like I said, the opening line is waking up in the morning hungover with a glass of wine in his hand. I was like, what a fucking loser. Wake up with something stronger like tequila or some fucking wine. Was it white? Was it red? Come on, bro. But that's my 2 cents on it.
Can we get any love for "Show Me the Way"? What about that song?
Would you show me the? I'd rather listen to "Come Sail Away."
But good pick, Joseph. I just think to me it's a little drawn out, but hey, some people will enjoy that because they'll get to slowly sip their wine or their alcohol beverage of choice based on the song.
I'm surprised Joseph didn't pick "Sister Christian" by Night Ranger.
Oh, that's a good drinking song.
It's a great song. Yeah, great song.
Bob, what do you got for us?
If you can tell from my honorable mentions, I really do like drinking to bluesy rock type of songs. It was really a tough choice because I had it between a few songs: a Pink Floyd song, a Zeppelin song, Derek and the Dominoes, Layla. Like, it was pretty tight, but I went with something obscure. Now, Joseph and Randall are usually the ones that make the obscure music picks. If you've heard our episodes in the past, they'll try to throw one out of left field that everybody's like, huh? I think the one I chose, you'll know the band, but most people won't know the song, or hopefully you do. I chose ZZ Top's Blue Jean Blues. This is on the 1975 album Fandango. This is just my kind of vibe when I'm having a drink. That bluesy rock sound that it sets the mood, it sets the tone, whether I want to feel happy, whether I feel sad, whether I just want to relax. Like a Floyd song, it's like a Zeppelin song. It's a particular mood, it's a particular vibe that if I'm at any bar or any place in Austin or in my hometown and they're playing bluesy rock, I'm there. I'm sold. You don't have to do anything. I got drinks there all night because I'm not leaving. It's a drinking mood. And I know some people are going to be like, well, that's too much of a relaxed vibe for me. I like to be happy. I like to dance when I drink, and that's all good. But for me, my vibe is sitting relaxed, having a smoke, having a drink, sipping on a whiskey and just kind of like relaxing or coming down from my long week or from a hard day. And the guitar play from Billy Gibbons, his lyrics, it could remind you of an ex-girlfriend. It could remind you of the woman you're in love with now. It's that perfect song to me. And I know it's obscure, and a lot of people are going to be like, I've never even heard of that song. We'll throw it on next time you're on your third beer or your second whiskey or your third margarita. And if you need to relax, if you need to, set a certain vibe, I mean, that is a vibe. That's the song to listen to. Like, I wish I could listen to other music that I do on the weekends. You can ask Joe. So we put on YouTube and we'll play a bunch of different music from a bunch of different decades. But what we always come back to, or what I always come back to, and Joseph Testa, it's always Floyd. It's always Zeppelin and ZZ Top. How can you go wrong with the little old band from Texas, man? These guys are fantastic. And I know we have an episode, if you haven't heard, we did a tribute episode to ZZ Top itself and talking about their best songs. And I thought it was pretty great. And this song is just, my dad introduced it to me when I was a kid. I think ever since then, well, once I started drinking in high school and in college, like, this is the jam. This is the song. What do y'all think about it?
I do like this song. I think it's one of ZZ Top's. I think this song is one of ZZ Top's most underrated songs, if not the most underrated. And yes, we did do a episode on ZZ Top a couple of, I think it was last year, might be 2 years by now. When Dusty Hill passed away. It's one of our most downloaded episodes. If you guys get a chance, please check it out. Best ZZ Top song. We're kind of in a serious tone in that one because we're commemorating Dusty and the memories. But check it out because we really enjoy talking about them. Bob, your dad introduced me to this song as well. I remember I had a computer that burned CDs, and I had like LimeWire and Napster.
It's a CD player.
And your dad asked me, "Could you burn me a CD? Could you put ZZ Top's Blue Jean Blues as the first song?" And I'd never heard that song before. This was probably 2000 maybe. And so I put it on. I was like, "Oh, this is a great song." So it kind of stayed on my rotation. I think this song, so this was a song you picked for ZZ Top, for the ZZ Top episode. And, we commemorated Dusty Hill's legacy and we talked about this song. Fantastic song. That's not an argument there. By the way, if you want to live to see another day, don't drink with Bob's dad. It's just a bad idea. Or with Bob either, but his dad's like the OG. His tolerance is legendary. I've had a few nights watching the sun come up with Bob's dad, who's my cousin. And the next day, you feel like you're in a Steven Soderbergh movie. Everything around you is sepia tone, a lot of jump cuts, a lot of mixed unresolved endings. Don't try to hang with him is what I'm trying to say because it's not a good idea. But anyway, ZZ Top. Okay, I was introduced to ZZ Top in the 80s. They emerged as a 1970s blues and boogie rock era band. So they took a hiatus, came back in the 80s and became this huge rock pop party MTV era style band. That's how I was introduced to them, as a band who created some 80s party track hits, retrace their history and work my way backwards to their phenomenal 70s hits. So they dominated two substance abuse riddled decades, the 80s and the 70s. In the 70s, if you were into ZZ Top, their music was usually accompanied by weed and beer. In the 80s, if you were into ZZ Top, they were usually accompanied by gin and cocaine. So their fans were making money at this point, right? So, ZZ Top goes with everything is what I'm trying to say. Blue Jean Blues makes me feel like I'm in an old small pool hall. I'm with one small TV in the corner, a slow ceiling fan, a waitress with a prosthetic arm. There's a blind guy in the corner with an old dog who says, "I wouldn't do that if I were you," right when you're about to lose on a pull shot. So fantastic song for a Levi's commercial, though. I am shocked because here's going to be my point, my argument. I'm shocked because ZZ Top has a song specifically for drinking, and I didn't mention in my honorable mentions. But Bob, beer drinkers and
Hellraisers.
Yes. And the Tres Hombres album. Sorry, there's my Spanish. Yeah. So if you play that song in your imaginary pool hall, Bob, you're breaking sticks and you're breaking hearts. I know you know this song because you just mentioned it, and I know it's the old "you should have picked this song" argument that we track back all the time, that we love to make. But I mean, the title is right there, Beer Drinkers and Hellraisers. I'm curious why you didn't go with it, but it pairs nicely with Craft Beer and Whiskey Collection. And then you can play Dirty White Boy by Foreigner and go tubing afterwards. I don't know. But I do like the song. I just think that ZZ Top, you can't go wrong playing a ZZ Top song when you're drinking. But I think if you had to list like their top 5 drinking songs, I think there might be a couple up there that would surpass Blue Jean Blues. And I think Beer Drinkers and Hellraisers would be the best. But what do you think, Joseph?
I think a simple wrong should have sufficed. No, I don't. That was a great. What's the word? Rebuttal argument. When I think of this song, when I think of this pick, I think for this topic, when somebody asks, hey, when you ask somebody what's the best drinking song or song that drinks you, whatever you want to talk about, if they know this song, they'll probably, like Bob, pick this one too. Or if they don't know any of these songs at all, and when they hear this particular episode and they choose between our 3 songs, they'll probably go with Bob. As both of you, this is a great fucking song. We know that we discussed it in a previous episode, and in ZZ Top in general. It's a beautiful fucking song. I guess when you think about like the quote unquote picture of, and Randy broke it down, sitting in a just a pool hall, just any little small, dive bar that's dimly lit, cigarette smoke, whatever. This song, you see somebody sitting in the corner or up at the bar. This song it's the picture of it. It's the exact picture of what you think of when you think of like, and I guess you can call it like Bob described it as a chill song. And I never thought about that. I never thought it can.
Never said the word chill.
No, like relaxed. I'm sorry, relaxed vibe drinking song. I think of it just because of the subjects of the song. It's heartbreak kind of. I think of it more of a sad song, but I guess if you just like, and we've listened to this song and drank beer and whatnot, alcoholic drinks to it before, and we're not in a heartbreak mood or anything like that. It did relax us. It did. So I think I didn't think of it that way, but now I do. It's got like 2 vibes to it. Obviously the sad vibe and the just relaxed. Hey, just want to hear some good fucking music but wouldn't you say the song is more instrumental? Like there's more instrumental than there are actual lyrics.
Oh yeah,
there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with that at all. So I think so that kind of adds to it too, Bob. That really does. Like it's just a chill fucking bluesy song if you took the lyrics out of it. So I think it's a great fucking pick. It's a great song. It's like I said, it's the poster child for me of what I think about when I think about sitting drinking in a small at home or outside in your patio or something. I don't see this as a beer drinking song as opposed to whiskey in a glass, like how Bob likes to enjoy his drinks most of the time. So great fucking song. Let me just say that.
Let me respond to the Beer Drinkers and Hellraisers, and I heard that one. It's got too much of like an 80s vibe to it for me. I think you're thinking of also like Sharp Dressed Man or Cheap Sunglasses, all great drinking songs for the subject matter, but they're a little too like upbeat. If I was into cocaine and driving my car fast, those might be the fucking songs I pick, but I'm not. So I like more of a relaxed blues. I've always been, I guess, I don't know where it comes from, but that bluesy rock vibe, man, that Pink Floyd puts out, that ZZ Top put out in the 70s, that Zeppelin's put out, like that's just always been I don't know, man, it just connects with me and it makes me feel certain ways if I want to feel happy or sad or think about life. Like that is the music I'm going to, and usually when I'm doing that, I'm having a drink. So that's where I went.
Bob, so this is Blue Jean Blues. It's a blues song. Normally we associate blues with sadness. Is this song a selection for you because it elicits an emotional response, or do you like feel something when you hear this song, or is it just something like, I kick back, I like the tone, I like the voice?
No, I definitely feel something, like it elicits some kind of response for me. It makes me feel certain ways. I think about certain different things at different times when I'm listening to this song. It's a breakup song, but it's kind of like it's more of the guitar, that bluesy guitar, and the sound they go with, and the little solo that's in there that makes me feel a certain way. Like if you just said, like Joseph said, it's mostly instrumental, so that's what I get from it. I don't get too much from the lyrics. The lyrics are pretty simple, pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
You know, ran into my old blue jeans. He's talking to he talking about running into an old ex-girlfriend somewhere. And you know, basically, he's saying that he misses his blue jeans, but he's really talking about the girl. Yeah, so you know, you know,
it stole my shoes.
Yeah, it's got a really cool vibe to it, man, and it's more of mood than it is like, you know, the lyrics that really get me. It's just the vibe.
My counter to it, and I guess my blue jean blues song would be
Bell Bottom Blues.
No,
that's Derek and the Dominoes. Fucking, that's amazing too.
Would be
Blue
and both. No, I was gonna say Planet Caravan by Sabbath.
Mm-hmm.
That would be my blue jean blues. Like lyrics, but it's mainly instrumental, and it's just a vibe. Like, have you ever listened to Planet Caravan by Black Sabbath?
I have
Randy?
not. I have not.
Right,
dude,
fucking, like
awesome.
you put candles on. You put like, you know, like
summon the devil, anything you want. Sabbath.
Like, no, with that song, like that, like, yeah, you know what? Add that to my honorable mentions. Planet Caravan by Black Sabbath.
You just doubled your honorable mentions. Yeah.
You know what, Joseph?
You know what? I'll make it. Let's add Solitude by Black Sabbath on there as well. That one's kind of depressing, but
changes.
Man, so I'm gonna good job.
Listen to Planet Caravan though. You'll get that. You'll get what I'm talking about when I say like the vibe that Bob gets from Blue Jean Blues is the vibe I feel with Planet Caravan.
I will check it out.
Right.
I'm gonna make my selection. Oh boy, this is a very different tone from what you
set yourself up for this shit when you do that. Oh boy,
yeah. Oh boy.
Well, because I like this song, but I know you guys don't. And I know.
Yeah, we do.
We don't like it. We don't like it. Of course we like it.
I have to be like 7 beers in.
Let's go. No, let him go. Let him go.
I got to give it a preface because I was hanging out with a buddy of mine. I said, "This is the song I'm going to pick," and he's like, "Don't pick that song because they're going to rip you apart." And I was like, "No, I have to pick. I have to pick this song. I have to pick this song because it's the one that elicits the most response." Now, we always talk on the show how we have very different tastes and styles, and that's what makes this show, hum along. Because if we all thought the same, it would suck, and we'd all always have our same personalities.
I agree.
Yeah, so I think you have to. So when you guys picked your music, you know, Bob, you picked a song that, you know, has an emotional tie-in for you. Joseph, you just like to hang back and sort of, you know, gaze and hang out in the party and pick a song that sort of represents that. I like to be in the mix when I'm drinking, and it's led to many, many embarrassing moments and many regretful things. So I have to preface this pick. It's probably the most controversial, i.e. misunderstood pick since I picked the Smithereens for a band that should have had the biggest career in that last episode that we did. Anyway, I went a completely different route. For background purposes, I shared this pick, like I said, with a few people, and they recommended, no, don't go with it. But I wanted to build my case in my defense. I reminded one person about a great time where we sang this song out loud at a bar and had just a fantastic time. So he told me, okay, you know, go for it. Let's see what you do. So when you're a few drinks in, your judgment, it always gets clouded. Can we agree on that? We can, right? Things sound better. People look better. So when I think of best drinking song, this is how I legislate.
I look better.
This is how I look better. This is how I legislate it. My criteria are as follows. It has to harbor a positive personal experience for me. Therefore, all sad songs are gone from my selection. It has to be a very specific go-to song to elicit an action that makes me want to drink. And then lastly, it isn't necessarily a good song outside of the enjoyment of drinking. Like, I wouldn't listen to this song just to listen to it. I have to be drinking. I think you can enjoy your songs in the car at home without a drink in your hand. I can't with this song. I can't just listen to it and think it's good. However, when I'm a few drinks in, this song creates that magic. And I'm going with Tub Thumpin' by Chumbawamba. A little background purposes for my due diligence. It was released.
Everyone in the audience just went, "Oh no!"
Everyone like, you really built that up. Okay, so it was released in 1997, the first year I was able to drink legally. So a lot of Zimas and Pete's Wicked Ales were had while enjoying this tune. I will say that. Some background research: it hit number 6 on the U.S. Billboard chart, so it was a hit. Vocalist Dunstan Bruce retrospectively observed that before the group wrote it, they were in a big mess. we had become directionless and desperate. He credited Tub Thumping with changing that, telling the magazine The Guardian, it is not our most political or best song, but it brought us back together. This song is about us as a class and as a band. The beauty of it was that we had no idea how big it would be. So that is a huge, a testimonial to what this song could elicit in terms of response and getting together. A Leeds pub called the Ford Granny, I think it's called, served as this group's inspiration for the song. Guitarist Boff Whaley told The Guardian that it was written about the resilience of ordinary people. Musically, Tub Thumping is a dance rock, alternative rock, dance punk song, but it was inspired by a bunch of down on their luck rock musicians who were local. It might not sound heavy, but the message is absolutely about getting lost in alcohol. And that's what we're talking about today, guys. Since it was so upbeat and poppy, everyone categorizes it as a late 90s sort of surge, that surge that we had in the late 90s with one-hit wonders on the pop one-hit wonders like Aqua, OMC, Right Said Fred. Because yes, it's a sing-songy song. It's sing-songy, it's anthemic, but I'm going to pull a Joseph here. You're going to say it's too repetitive, but let me tell you something here. It's basically 2 blocks of lyrics sung over and over. Yes. I mean, fellas, when you're drunk, you don't want a deeply complex song to wash away your worries. Nobody who is intoxicated is singing along to REM's End of the World or Rush's Limelight. You want something that's fun.
Yes, we are.
You want something that's fun, simple, and anthemic. It's a simple, basic song. The band themselves stated that it's just about getting drunk. He drinks a lager drink. He drinks a cider drink. Pissing the night away is an English expression that means going out to get drunk specifically. We have UK listeners right now. They just put down their bangers and mash and pointed to the listening devices on their, on their headsets and shouted, "Too right, you're right." Okay. So we had UK listeners. Sorry.
Until you said that. I fucked that guy.
With my, what's it called? Dick Van Dyke on Mary
Fuck
Poppins.
this guy.
What the fuck? He had us until I lost that point.
That was a mix of Conor McGregor and something.
I'm gonna go watch Harry Potter. All right.
All right. Now they're never gonna listen to that. I mean,
yeah.
Geez.
Fuck those guys.
I'm just gonna say my apologies right here and right now. Sorry, everybody.
We're canceling that Harry Potter joke. Okay. So lastly.
Fuck no, we're keeping it in. It stays.
Lastly, this can work for a happy drunk song or a sad drunk song that will uplift you. It is for all of us who don't give up when we struggle, which is most of us, right? Or when we need to escape the struggle. It rips through our inebriated emotions to remind us that we are going to be okay if we keep moving forward. Pixar, if you're listening, put this song on your next Minions movie. The kids will love it, and you're welcome for that. But guys, what do you think about this song?
Is it a memorable song? Most definitely. And is it, cause I think there's a specific mood for this song. And Randy, he got it. He spoke that particular mood. I'm not going to knock you on the repetitive lyrics. I got what you were saying about, to me, I've always it's a fun, I always look at it as a novelty song at this point, and maybe only because of the repetitive lyrics, but I can't deny that, at the time, it was a fucking huge song. It really is. I don't want to say that it's never going to get me up. I'd have to be it depends on how drunk I am. If this song came on, that I would actually be like, oh, and I'd get up and hey, this fucking song. I don't think that time will ever come. But if I'm drinking, if we're out drinking somewhere and there's some kind of retro theme going on with songs from the 90s and this song's going to come on, of course I'm going to smile about it. I'm going to enjoy it while it plays one time and we'll talk and we'll mouth the words along, the whiskey drink, the vodka drink, the lager drink, all that stuff, because that's a funny part. I think there's, like I said, there has to be a particular fucking mood and maybe a particular crowd. I think this song goes probably hella perfect in European football matches, or soccer, whatever you want to call it. I think if this song's played during one of those games, they'll fucking lose their mind and they'll have a hell of a time. It's not going to particularly get me up. It's not something that I'm going to ask for. Oh fuck, I got to hear that song. But it doesn't make me want to say oh fuck, change this song. No, I enjoy it because I think it's like I said, I think it's a great novelty song. I just think there has to be a specific mood for each of our choices. And I think this is probably one that I can't recall. But if I can't recall, that means I was really drunk. I can't recall a time where I was super excited that this fucking song came on and I had to hear it and I had to lose my mind, but I can see it and I can see their specific, like I said earlier, I can see specific instances where this is the perfect fucking song for that. It's just a unusual choice, I guess. Like, because like I said, I just think it's a funny song. We laugh at it because it's a funny song. But Bob, what's up?
First off, how can you say REM's End of the World is not a drinking song? You know how many people are drinking to that shit on Y2K in 99?
You can't sing along to it.
You can. You fuck up the lyrics like we do with everything else. And secondly, nobody drinks a whiskey drink, then a vodka drink, then a lager drink, then a cider. Nobody drinks that. They'd be throwing up all over the place. You stick to one thing. It's either whiskey or you can even go whiskey and beer, but you don't fucking switch from dark liquor to light liquor. It's just not right. It just doesn't work that way. When you chose the song, I was pretty surprised. I thought you would go with like an 80s song. Personally, I thought you would pick something up like Take These Broken Wings.
Yes, that's
Who's gonna drive you home?
Who's gonna drive you home? Or like, you know, and like and back that ass up. You know, I'm not surprised now. Or like Closing Time. Nobody mentioned Closing Time. I can guarantee you, Randy's driven home after a night out somewhere and he's listening to Closing Time and he's had a tear rolling down his cheek. That's guaranteed. That's happened.
Yes.
I'm just kidding. Anyways, this song, it's a great drinking song. It really, really is. But like Joseph said, you have to be in a certain mood. I guess you have to be in a certain mood, like he mentioned as well, to listen to any one of our songs. But if I go to a bar and they have a live band and they start playing, you know, Frampton, you know, I'm going to be like, oh, that's pretty sweet, man. That's awesome. They start playing ZZ Top. I will sit down and probably buy everybody around me a drink just so I can sit and vibe and have a good time. If they start playing Chumbawamba, fuck, man, I may be like, what the fuck is going on? It all depends. If I'm on my first drink, I'm not into it. If I'm on drink, you know, 5 or 6, you know what I mean? And, you know, we're with the crowd and they start playing this, then I'm into it. But I can't just see myself going up to a jukebox and being like, you know what this crowd needs? Or Chumbawamba.
You know,
so, it's a good song. It's a good song. I'm not going to argue that's not a good song. It's a drinking song. But I think people more connect with it because it's a song about drinking rather than, oh, I need to listen to the song while I'm drinking, if that makes any sense.
I think this is a song, and you're right. All these songs are very mood specific. I mean, but so are all drinking songs. I mean, you know, if we're at a bar, and I know, you know, we're at the age where, hey, you know what, we appreciate the laid back tones of a nice bar that's not loud. So we want to listen to the Blue Jean Blues, the Peter Framptons, and anything else acoustic or mellow. This song, I don't hang out in places that would play it at this point, but I know this.
Just back that ass up.
Just back that ass up. This song, I don't think you could probably play before 1 a.m. It's one of those closeout songs that's, hey, you know what? Where everybody's drunk, everybody's having a good time. Let's put it on, and it's at a nightclub, and everybody's getting, you know, everybody's happy, or it's at a wedding or whatever. But yeah, definitely not a place I would hang out before. So I went more with nostalgia when it came to this pick. I think we all did, but with your two choices, you could still. You know, you could still listen to them now and still have the same responses that you had, you know, 10, 15 years ago. With me, it's like I'm past the days where Tub Thump is coming on and I'm having a good time listening to it. But it does bring back a very fond memory. That's why I selected it.
It's a fun drinking song. I think it has to be that mood where it comes on. But I agree with what Bob said. It's not something that I specifically want to ask for while I'm drinking, like how I will say, put fucking Do You Feel Like We Do on, or put Blue Jean Blues on. If it comes on while I'm out anywhere, it doesn't have to be at a bar. It could be at, you know, I know we it's been a while since we've done a house party or get together, whatever you want to call it, because we're old. And if this song comes on, it's gonna make me laugh. It's gonna make me smile. It's gonna be like, hey, remember that song? Like but it's only gonna be for that moment. And I think, like I said, it just has its crowd and it has its moments. Randy, you mentioned a wedding. If it comes on, like if somebody our age, I guess, young kids, kids getting married in their 20s won't put this shit on. But, you know, if there's people still our age, there's, you know, I think it's perfect. It has its moments and it has its crowd and it works fine. It's just, it's not something that I ever like would think to myself, I want to request it, but it does have its moments.
I think you have to be named Danny in order to put this fucking song on somewhere because your name's in the goddamn lyrics. Oh, Danny boy, Danny boy. What's up with English people and liking the name Daniel? Elton John had Daniel, you're a star in one of his songs too. I don't get their. I guess there's a lot of people named Danny Boy up in London or England or in Europe. I think in order to have a real connection to that song, your name has to be Daniel or Danny.
I think this song, like I said, it is great. It's one of those. Joseph, we're playing at a party. This is like where you roll the end credits. If it was a movie, you know, that's where you end. You end with this song. You don't.
That's closing time, sir. That's closing time.
It does have a nice like ending part. You know, like how to end the night, like the trumpet and kind of mellow. Then you know, so. Yeah, I get you.
I'm really surprised you didn't go with an 80s song. I thought 80s all the way for you, dude.
Oh man, there's so many good 80s drinking songs. I don't think I even listed too many of my honorable mentions.
It's just a good decade, right?
It's a good decade to drink and to do other substances, but we won't get into that. Last thoughts on drinking songs, guys.
I think if we were genre specific, we'd probably still have a tough time. I think like just picking one to say this one is above every other feeling that I've ever had or like, you know what, because that's what I think we all agreed on that. It's a feeling we feel while we're drinking when these songs come on. Like I said, it was really tough to pick one out of all the different feelings that you feel while you're drinking. And I think if we went more specific, it would be a lot of fun too. I mean, if we went full on, like when you're sad, it's going to be hurt.
This sets us up perfectly for the future.
Yeah.
It's going to set this up perfectly in the future. Like best drinking song when you're sad, best drinking song when you're happy, best country drinking song, best rap drinking song, best rock drinking song from the 90s, best high school drinking song. I think this sets us up for the future to have a lot of different topics, and I think those would be fucking great. And like, is it hurt? Did you say hurt?
Yeah, hurt. Feelings. No, hurt.
I hurt myself today.
Yeah,
I don't know if we can condone high school drinking, but okay.
Give me a break, nerd.
Feelings and memories, play a song. So everybody out there, I'm sure that a lot of people are gonna pick like something way out of left field that we didn't even think of. But and you know what? It's tied to how they feel, and it's tied to a memory of themselves. So get out there. Let us know what you're thinking out there.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's got to be a certain topic. Would y'all like to hear those specific topics, best drinking song in certain specific genres or times or moods? I mean, we could definitely do that in the future. I think that those would make for great episodes, and we can really focus in, especially if you're like a country lover or you're a sad drinker or you're a happy drinker or you're a party drinker. Shit, we have topics for everyone that we'll get into, I'm sure, in the future.
There are so many songs that pair well. I think a lot of times when artists are writing these songs, they're in such a state of emotional disarray, especially with those sad songs, that they're writing these songs as they're drunk. You hear a lot of stories about artists saying, I wrote this when I was getting a divorce, or I broke up with my girlfriend, or I was sad because I lost someone, so I put pen to paper and I wrote this song. And that's why those emotions come through. The best drinking songs in the sad purview make for the best drinking songs because they were written with emotion and true feeling. I think party anthems are a little different because they're hit or miss. They're just sort of easier to write. I think write a sad drinking song is a difficult task because I think you have to have real powerful emotions attached to it.
Like the freshman
going to drive you home.
Yeah, the freshman. Yes,
by the verb.
All right, guys. We have a little time. Any thoughts on your mind? What you're watching? Any good movies?
Oh my God. Okay. Yes, dude. Yes. We found this on Netflix. It's called Pepsi. Where's My Jet? Have y'all seen that documentary?
I've seen the preview. Yeah.
Holy shit, dude! It is fucking good, man. It is one of the most entertaining docuseries so far that I've seen, and it's not on serial killers, surprise, surprise. But it is fucking cool, dude. You have to, if anybody hasn't seen it, it's on Netflix. It's cool. It's about the Coke versus Pepsi wars and something that Pepsi came up with, a clever ad campaign that kind of backfired. You have to check it out and see. Watch the trailer. It's interesting. Watch the first episode, and then you're gonna be hooked. It really, really is a great show.
So there's this new animated show called Agent Elvis, and I didn't really, it didn't catch my attention until I saw the clip, and apparently Matthew McConaughey is the voice of Elvis. And that little clip, that little clip that they played, it was funny, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna check this out. So hopefully that's good. That's probably what I'll be watching next. I don't know. We're so locked into right now March Madness, so.
Our brackets, yeah.
Don't even talk to me about March. Hey, the Longhorns won, baby. They play Friday.
Third month crazy time, man. Third month crazy time.
It's. I mean, we could do a whole segment on basketball and how college basketball is so much more different than it used to be. But everybody's brackets are busted at this point. I do want to make. I did get to catch up. We didn't record the past 2 weeks, so I caught up on my movie watching. Watched Cocaine Bear.
How was that?
It was good. I enjoyed it. I mean, bears make movies better, right? The Great Outdoors, The Revenant. Anytime you stick a bear in a movie,
Big Bear chasing me.
I would recommend Cocaine Bear. I did watch Scream 6.
Bear fucker.
Do you need assistance?
Have you all caught Scream 6 yet?
Not yet.
I watched.
No,
Scream
that
6.
was the plan for this week.
Yeah.
Oh, you did? What do you think of it?
It's good. I didn't watch.
Cool?
It's okay. I didn't watch Scream 5, so I was missing a lot of the details.
I watched Scream 5 and I was disappointed.
Really? No, I didn't get to. watch
I was
Scream
disappointed
5.
with. Yeah, so hopefully this one's better.
Give
it a shot.
I liked the second half. The first half was kind of slow for me, but it starts picking up the second half. I would recommend it. Maybe once it starts streaming. I watched one thing I would not recommend. I was disappointed. I watched Everything Everywhere All at Once. Did not like it. Could not get into it. It was too long. Jamie Lee Curtis did not deserve the Oscar for Best Supporting Actress. There were three others.
Have you seen her dance in True Lies? Yeah, you change your mind real quick, sir.
So I was disappointed with that movie. And then lastly, last night, we caught The Whale. And we talked about Brendan Fraser here. We posted a few Instagram stories about his Oscar win. Well deserved. I really liked that movie. It made me think a lot about the movie afterwards and about what have you guys watched that yet, The Whale?
No. I know exactly what it is, though. I know exactly the premise and everything. I just haven't had a chance to watch it.
How did you watch it? Because that's what I've been trying to do.
Amazon, but
I've already streaming. You can already pay to stream.
I paid it. Yeah, I paid for it.
Yeah. Well, that's what I meant, because it wasn't like it was in small theaters, and I don't recall it coming to any theaters here. That's theaters.
Let me ask you a question. Does the fake fat suit or CGI, does that bother you?
No, not at all. Not at all.
I saw I saw a couple of clips on it, and it kind of bothered me a little bit that he looks a little bit fake, and that's the only thing that bothered me on it. Not exactly in that scene, like I was like it just bothered me a little bit that you could tell it's kind of fake. But I mean, granted, he wasn't going to gain. He wasn't going to gain, 150 pounds for the role or anything like that.
The makeup team won for best makeup and special effects. It looks very real. It's not like Austin Powers' Fat Bastard. It's not like that. It's actually it looks very realistic. I think Brendan Fraser, one of the things he does is he makes you completely forget who's playing this character. Like, I forgot it was him, 10 minutes in, because he was so good and just so amazing. And we talked about how we loved watching him grow up because we saw him in Airheads and, School Ties, the Mummy movies. We grew up watching him, and he was a comedic actor for the most part, kind of, right? But man, he knocked it out of the park.
He's funny, man.
Yeah, he's a great, he 100%.
You ever seen Bedazzled?
I've seen Bedazzled.
Bedazzled's fucking hilarious, dude. He's hilarious in Bedazzled.
But he knocked it out of the park. Well deserved, and such a feel good story. I know the Oscars were last Sunday, but such a feel good story that he's back at there. Him and Ki Hui Kwan. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Short round, yeah, from Data from the Goonies. Yeah,
that's amazing, dude. I saw a good interview with him talking about him running into Harrison Ford after he hadn't seen him since. And he's like going up, and he said that Harrison Ford turns to him and points his finger and looks mad, and he's like, "Are you Short Round?" He's like, yes, Indy, or something like that. That's his response to him. I thought it was fucking hilarious. He brought me back to that moment. Yes, Indy. That's great, dude. That's good for him, man. It just goes to show people that you work hard all your life, and you feel like, man, I'm not getting the recognition I think I deserve, and maybe this is not going to work out, but you just keep plugging along, and you keep working, and then sooner or later, I mean, you work hard enough, you dreams do come true. I think that really is an amazing thing for him.
I didn't like the movie, but I think the acting was. I think him and Michelle Yeoh. Did I say that right? Michelle Yeoh. Michelle Yeoh and him did an amazing job in the movie, even though I didn't really care for it. But glad to see him back on the screen. Glad to see two Encino Man alumni, Brendan Fraser and Key Kwan.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, just it's really cool. And go ahead, Joseph.
I know that there was almost immediately there was a backlash with Brendan Fraser, and it's the, what are they called, the Z generation?
Yeah,
the Austin Butler's their thing. He's their idol, and I understand it. And so they were losing their mind. They were losing their mind, and just so much bullshit. And all I thought to myself was, I don't know if we have any Z generations, the zillennials, whatever you want to call them, listening.
My college students.
But my thing to that would be, one of these days, whether it's Austin Butler or one of these young actors, hell, even Pete Davidson, they're gonna make
don't start loving that guy.
Listen. They're gonna make movies throughout their career. I don't know who the fucking young actors are, like Jenna Ortega, whatever. They're gonna make movies throughout their career, and you're gonna like them. You're gonna be a fan of them. You're gonna love them so much, and you're gonna think that they deserve all these awards because you love that movie so much, or you love that you love that actor so much, and one day they might win it. And you all will know how we fucking feel about Brendan Fraser winning an Oscar the other night. That's how we feel, because we love that dude since we were younger. And we thought he was super talented. And then finally, it's recognized. So my message to you all is, don't feel sad. One day it might happen for them too. And you'll feel like how we feel right now.
Austin Butler's
it's about
tremendous.
fucking time.
Yeah.
So Gerard Butler's son didn't win?
No, he's a tremendous actor. His day will come. I will say,
I don't know who that is.
I think realistically,
he was in that Elvis movie.
Yeah, he played Elvis. Realistically, Adam Sandler has an opportunity. Everybody always say he should have been nominated for Uncut Gems. Yeah, he's gonna be nominated someday. How? Our generation's going to lose its collective shit if Adam Sandler wins an Oscar. I mean, this is a guy who was Iraqi Pete and Happy Madison, Billy Madison.
If he comes in and he does shit while he's giving an Oscar speech, I will lose my shit.
So that's not me dissing you all, young generation. That's just like one day it's going to happen for you. Your favorite young actor is going to be rewarded after all this time, and you'll know how we feel right now.
And mark it, Adam Sandler will win an Oscar. And we're gonna do a whole show. So. We're gonna do a whole show about it, and it's gonna be the best moment. The same guy who sang about shoving a shampoo bottle up his ass is gonna win an Oscar. Anything else, guys?
No, it's good to be. It's fun to have y'all. Welcome back, everybody. We're back. I know y'all been clamoring for us. We're back. I know we've gotten a lot of messages.
Yeah, so. And that's good. We're back, guys. We have a lot of, it's difficult sometimes, with personal issues and work and stuff comes up, but we promise we're going to be around a long time, and we're going to be putting out a shitload of shows. Hopefully we can still continue to build up that popularity. I know we're getting decent reviews back and decent numbers back, and that's awesome. Hopefully they continue to grow. Tell people about us. It'd be like, hey, you want to hear three guys that are full of shit? Check out this podcast. So, and the more numbers we get, the better off we'll be. And we have a really, really, really good one. You want to tell everybody about next week's episode, Ryan?
Yes, we got to. You caught me off guard there. I was like, I was reading the closer. Where am I going to put this in? But no, yes, let's talk about next week's episode.
Closing.
So we're going to have a guest involved, and she is our good friend Giovanna. I actually had breakfast with her last week when I was down visiting, and we're going to talk about.
Did she tell you Chumbawamba was a shitty song?
No, I did not even mention it to her because I knew she was going to dissect it. And I was paying for breakfast, so I didn't want to take that away. Anyway, no, I did not mention it to her. But she is a very knowledgeable Simpsons fan, and as are we. But she's like really, she's at another level with this. So she's listened to us. She supported us on her story. So we're going to talk about We're going to debate and discuss best secondary Simpsons character next week. So can't wait for that, because that's going to be a little different show than we're used to, but it's going to be fun nonetheless with a special guest.
Who's going to go with Willie? I want somebody to just do the fucking accent, and we'll be cool.
No, we'll lose that country of listeners.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like we lost the British.
Well, we already lost England, probably Ireland as well.
It's not you. We're actually we are going to break down a few stereotypes and things that the Simpsons talked about. Giovanna wanted to talk about that stuff, but anyway, we'll get to it when we get to it. That's our show, listeners. We'd love to hear from you. Hit us up and let us know what your favorite all-time drinking song is. Most importantly, let us know what you think about the show. You may reach us at formidableopponents@gmail.com, and you can follow us on all forms of social media by searching for Formidable Opponents. I'd like to thank Creative Little Pill for her great artwork. Please follow her on Instagram at Creative Little Pill, see what she's up to, and please rate and review us on Apple and Spotify. That really helps us out. And join us next week. Next episode, we'll be back talking about best secondary Simpsons character, as we mentioned before. So for Bob and Joseph, this is Randall. We'll see you all next week.
I am drunk. Drunk is me. I am drunk. Woo!
Stop it. Just stop it. It's closing time.